Let's go rescue Stan.
You wish something more of me? I confess, I did not think the priestess would part with it. So be it. Set me free and I will follow you against the Blight. So it is. Follow you at battle. Doing so, find my atonement. May we proceed? I am eager to be elsewhere.
That's fair.
Blast and damnation.
Morrigan.
Indeed.
Stan.
Yes.
Lana. Sorry, boy, but I Honest, go me. Specialization. Arcane Warrior. Give me a little bit more dex. I need dex for something. Combat magic. Don't remember what that one does. Wow. Sting make trap. No. Cool, good. Hey, me. Turn on this one too. I need more willpower. Let's see. The one with the bear is over here, I'm pretty sure.
Foolish creature. No better than to attack.
No, he's wolf. I didn't give Stan a weapon. I need to equip Liliana though. Splint mail boots. Studded leather. There we go. We did it, Froze. We beat a whole bunch of wolves. Just like an unnecessary amount of wolves. Oh. That's fortunate. Wasn't that the boy from the other time? Oh, I don't have to do more. Oh well.
Do they see us?
More dead. Oh, I'm black. Great. Love to fight bears. Like, killing in one shot. They'd probably win it, actually. If these bears, you did. On the other hand. Those ones. Luckily, the run around in circles magic strategy was a little bit better in that one than it does in this one. So at least it's a manageable suffering. Heck, that should also die. Chanter Devons, I finished, I think, but your quest.
Blessed peacekeepers, champions of the just, and the stars stood still, the winds did quiet, and all animals of earth and air hath. All was silent in prayer and thanks.
Okay, you're welcome. I did stuff for you. Is that everything? Did I finish your quest? Okay, cool. Did I finish all the ones in there? I think I'm done in there too. So let's go, I guess. I think I'm done because Alice doesn't want to give quests.
Alina.
Say what you must.
Liliana, open this.
I finished.
Eh.
Why are we stopping? There are Darkbond to be fought. Is this delay needful? No to fight. No. People are not simple. They cannot be summarized for ease reference of the elves are a lie, pointy-eared people who are.
Got me there.
Many humans have said that to me. I do not understand it. If I were hostile, you would be Couldn't you tell? As you wish.
I like Sten. He's funny, but in the very driest definition of the word funny. But I like him. Oh, we got her lost.
Someone help us!
And get out.
Right. Got it. Off my back.
Can't search that one. A blood. The sealed letter.
Mighty timely arrival there, my friend. I'm much obliged.
You're welcome.
My name's Bodon Fedek, Merpanure. This here is my son, Sandal. Say hello, my...
Hello.
Road's dangerous. Mind if I are out here? Perhaps we're going the same way. Complicated? Somehow I imagine that only says a half of it. Thank you for the offer, but there may be more excitement on your path than is good for my boy and me. Allow me to bid you farewell and good fortune. Now then, let's get this mess cleaned up, shall we?
Oh, Dan.
We'll be off as soon as this mess is cleaned up. Thank you kindly for all your assistance.
Alright, he's actually done. We'll talk later, it'll be fine. We can just come back, right? Well, that's no, it is it. Don't like.
Drank more like, as in the tainted blood. You see, part of hear the Darkspawn. That's what your was, hearing the Archman. We feel it just as they do. That's why we know this is really a blight. It takes a bit to dreams out. Some of the older say they can understand the Archdemon a bit, but I sure can't. When I heard you shing around, I thought I should... It was at first for me. Other than dying young and the whole defeat the blight alone, no, I'm all tapped out with surprises. Anyhow, you're up now, right? Let's move on.
Oh, I could do peek now. Alright. So, for those of you BioWare games, this is the rule of BioWare games. Talk to all your men whenever you have to.
Oh, wait, you little... Me harassing your dog? I should say it's the other way round. Your furry friend here took offense at me getting near his food. He snapped at me, look. Don't you think I don't know it? Sometimes he's a war dog. That'll teach me. I heard a really old legend. Hound warriors in the days of the old tribes would feed their Mabari the flesh of the vanquished. Well, that's what I heard anyway. It would sometimes be human flesh. Oh, like you can tell the difference. Fool, you know, you've been fed someone. Hey!
Look at what your fool placed in my pack. A putrid, half-eaten hare is not something a woman wants to find in her unmentionables.
He means well.
Dirty Mungle can have this back, and tell him not to do it.
Sorry, pup. She doesn't like
I
that.
don't want it, you worthless fur bag.
Now you've hurt his feelings.
Oh, he's just trying to be manipulative. I can tell. I do it too.
I love conversating with Puppy because always she's just comedic.
True warrior and worthy of respect.
Indeed. This is fun. Alright, we're out of function. This is just normal conversations now. Nothing new. The episode of Talk to Everyone, maybe they won't give me questions, because that one will take longer. Let's talk to Sten. He's interesting.
Yes. Sitting, observed.
You were standing.
Grasp of this is remarkable. If I truly disliked you, I would leave. That I am still here, you may interpose. I did. Parshera, was there anything? I suggest we move on.
I have a
I
question.
am hardly surprised.
Why'd you come to
To answer a
Rhodes?
question. The Arishok asked, what is the Blight? By his curiosity, I am there. Yes. I cannot go home. Thank you. Can we move on? We keep the Darkspawn waiting. Speak then,
Alright,
as we move on.
well,
I am hardly surprised.
I
Very
guess
well.
never mind. Get to ask,
As you-
to ask again. Welcome to Status. And let's talk to Alistair.
What do you need? Ask away.
I don't
Same
want
way
to.
you did. You drink some blood, you choke on it, and pass out. You haven't forgotten already, have you? Ah, my secret out. Not pretending. Drooling. All right, all right. No sense for you.
Close.
Before. I trained for many years to
Don't be
pretend
funny.
artifact. That's where I learned most of my skills. You're telling me I was banished to the kitchens to scour the pots more times than I can count. And that's a lot. I can count pretty high. The Grand Cleric didn't want to let me go. Duncan was forced to conscript me, actually, and was ever furious. I thought she was going to have us both arrested. I was lucky. Oh, I suppose the country life is for some. Here, we chance to fighting the Blight. To actually do some good instead of sitting in a temple. I'll always be thankful to Duncan for recruiting me. If it hadn't been for him, you know, I wouldn't have. He was a good man who didn't deserve his fate. That much, sure of. Come on, I think I'm done talking.
Good, me too. Liliana. Got fun things to say.
Yes? Well? I knew this would come up sooner or later. Explain. But I had a dream. Impenetrable darkness. It was so... And there was a noise, a terrible, ungodly... I stood on a peak and watched as the darkness consumed everything. And when storms swore the last of the sun's light fell, and that drew me in. I suppose I did. What the dark... When I went to the Chantry Gardens, but that day, the rosebush had flowered. Everyone knew that was dead. It was twisted and the ugliest thing you ever saw. But there it was, a beautiful rose. It was as though the Maker stretched out to say, even in the midst of this darkness, there is and beauty. Have faith. In my dream, I fell, or maybe I jumped. I'd do anything to stop it. I know that I do it. There are so many good things in the Maker's world. How can I sit by while the Blight devours everything? That is why you're a Grey Warden. Come, there's a Blight to stop.
It's true, it is. We got stuff. But first we gotta talk to Morin. Again, I'll buy for some like people, which, you know what, big
What
move.
do you wish of me? If you must.
Actually, no, wait. I want to ask the other one.
What do you wish of me?
The
We're in
interesting
camp.
question.
'Tis as good a time as any. I am here because Flemeth commanded me to aid you.
Yeah.
Why? Do you wish me to leave? I can do so if you prefer.
No.
Then I assume our discussion ends here.
That's not, man.
What do you wish of me? We are in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any. I am here because Flemeth commanded me to aid.
Let's try again. That's not...
Do you wish me to leave?
Want to
If I
leave?
go, so do not ask such pointless questions.
Oops. Let's
What-
try... Well, whatever.
If you must. You ask me such questions. I do not probe you for pointless information, do I?
You could have...
Beg pardon then while I jump for joy. What is it you asked if I grew up in the wilds? A curious question. Where else picture me? For many years it was Lee Flemeth and I. The wilds and its creatures were more real to me than Flemeth's tales of the world of man. In time I grew curious. I left the wilds to explore what lay beyond, never for long. Brief forays into a civilized wilderness. For the most part, I had been taught, however, the truth of this lands proved to be... I was unfamiliar with so much. So confident and bold was I, yet there was much that Flemeth could never have prepared me for. Equal parts daring and foolhardy, perhaps. Only once was I accused of being a witch of the woods, and that Jason, who happened to be traveling with a merchant caravan. He pointed and gasped and began shouting in his strange language, and most assumed he was casting some curse upon me. I acted the terrified girl, and naturally, he was arrested.
Well played.
Man willing to believe things about a woman. One, that she is weak, and two, he finds him attractive. I played the weakling and battered my eyelashes at the captain of the guard. Child's play. The point being that I was able to move through human lands fairly easily. Whatever humans think a witch of the wild looks like, 'tis not I. Not that I did not have all. There are things about human society which have always puzzled me, such as the touching. Why all for a simple greeting?
I hate...
Do not speak to me of trivialities. Your culture is not so entirely There were many new Flemeth could tell me of. Others' eyes, table. How to bargain without offending. None of these things I knew. I still do not understand it all, truth be told. Gave up long ago any hope of When the Wild's last war to Flem had no intention of leaving again. Yes? Let's ignore the entire Darkspawn threat and the presence of a Sis, your only other Warden ally. Not that I lack appreciation for the intent of your comment. Thank you. Well, let's get on with it before the ground opens up and swallows us, yes?
Sounds good to me. I want to talk to Morrigan again, because I walked all the way over here.
Times, perhaps. A world, people, and buildings and things was all very foreign to me. If I wished companionship, wolves and flew with the birds. If I spoke, 'twas to the trees.
It does
For a
sound...
time, but one can only remain a child for so long. I the first time beyond the edge of the wilds, remaining in the shadows and watching these strange townsfolk from far. I had a noble woman by her carriage, adorned in sparkling bikes of which I had never before seen. I was dazzled. This, to me, seemed what true wealth and beauty must be. I snuck up behind her and stole a hand mirror from the carriage. 'Twas encrusted in gold and crystalline gemstones, and I hugged it to my chest with delight as I sped back to the wilds. Flemeth was furious with me. I was a child and had not yet come into my full power, and I had risked discovery for the sake of a pretty bauble. Me a lesser took the mirror and smashed it upon the ground. I was heartbroken. And a foolish one. Flemeth was right to break me of my fascination. Be and love are fleeting and have no meaning. Survival has meaning. Power has meaning. Without those lessons, I would not be here today, as deep as they might have been.
Yeah, but...
Perhaps, but they were necessary still. To return to your original question, perhaps my time in the wilds was indeed lonely, but such was how it had to be. I find myself at times wondering what might have become of the girl with the beautiful golden mirror, but such fantasies have no place amidst reality.
I think I have more things to say.
Yes? If you must. You are very cute to ask so many questions. Really? Perhaps we should be wrapped in ribbons and adorned with flowers. So cute, we too. My mother has been hunted from time to time, yes, by Templar fools like Alistair, which should tell you how successful we were. Flemeth made a bit of a game of it, in fact. The Templars would come again, and she would look at me and smile and say that the fun was to begin. I am unsure. I was to understand and pass to on Flemeth's part, or perhaps she was merely amused. I will never know. Flemeth would warn them once. 'Twas a warning they inevitably failed to heed. And then the true game began. Often Flemeth would use me as bait. A little girl to scream and run and lure the Templars deeper into the wilds and to their doom. 'Twas a game, and I a young girl. If I didn't get to play, I would have been very upset. The wilds is a vast place. Once they found us, Flemeth would move us where, and we would be locked within the forest once again. I did not danger, we was much older. I had never heard of apostates or Maleficarum. Perhaps they did. Still, I do not begrudge them doing what is necessary. Chantry sees any mages not leashed to the Magi as apostates, and apostates become Maleficarum, will mages to bloodmen become demon-enslaved abominations. It may even be true, still, those of us who prefer freedom see no reason to submit.
Yeah.
An interesting answer for a mage. Enough this talk, let us return to the task at hand.
Right. Too long of talking to Morrigan. Bye-bye.